what you allow to cross over into your flesh and like let your flesh win in something, your spouse is gonna kind of reciprocate that, or at least experience it, to say the least.
Yeah.
And today it was like just trying to crucify the flesh. But honestly, like it says in Romans 12, it says, therefore, brethren, present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God, so that you can discern the perfect will of the Father. And it talks about that, but a lot of times that is ugly.
Oh, yeah.
And it is nasty coming to the end of yourself, because
Yeah.
you basically have to like drag your own self kicking and screaming up onto the altar so that he can do the living sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. Living sacrifice isn't pretty.
Trusting Jesus.
Can I just point out that this is the third day in a row you and I have worn the exact same shirt, like laid out our clothes the day before, and then we both like get ready and we're like, oh, twinning again 3 days in a row. We're basically the same person
It's true.
who love the same churches / ministries and only wear those shirts.
Yeah, it's pretty much right.
Yeah.
Because we have ministry shirts and Greater Life shirts and
Coffee shop shirts
coffee shop shirts.
and fam shirts.
Yep,
That's it. That's what we rotate through.
that's it.
And they just happen to align like the stars. Whatever that means. How's your week been?
It's been a good week and a challenging day.
Yeah.
Today was a challenging day.
Yeah.
And we almost did not record tonight.
Yeah, you turned everything off after setting everything up.
Set everything up. I have 2 lights. Sorry, microphone. 2 mics, 2 cameras, hot wife, and still about didn't record. Because I've been battling my flesh, and my flesh doesn't want to record. It just wants to go to bed. Move on.
New day, please.
Have a new day, please. Oh, man.
But I think it's good, and I think it's good to have moments where we're real and authentic. I was listening to a Craig Gershel, however you say his name. It's his leadership, Craig at that church.
Yeah, Groshell.
Yeah, Gershel. Listening to his leadership podcast today, and he was saying that one of the characteristics of really good leaders is that they are real and raw, and don't try to hold up a perfection persona, I guess.
No, you're not going to get that tonight. No
So
perfection
welcome.
persona.
The gloves are off.
Yeah. We're pretty broken over here.
Yeah. It's been a hard week for me. There's been some stuff going on with family, and we fasted earlier this week, and that was really difficult. So it's been a good week, but it's been a challenging week.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both had some opportunities in ministry this week that were pretty exciting, and that we were thankful for those opportunities. So I really don't take the hard day. It's not a surprise.
No, it's actually expected.
Yeah, we shouldn't be surprised.
Uh-uh.
But then we're like, man, that hurt. Like, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Who just clocked me?
Yeah. Got a kidney punch
Yeah.
by the devil. But if you want to truly be happy in life, you have to come to the end of you. And that's what tonight's all about, is that we're coming to the end of our flesh. And it does not like that.
Mm-mm.
It actually gets very, very angry at you when you try to come to the end of it.
Yeah, it's going to go kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
But it's going to go.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to read this real quick. So, this is something I actually preached on Sunday about. But this is Matthew 10:37 through 39. The one who loves a father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. The one who loves a son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever doesn't take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. It's past my bedtime. Verse 39 says, anyone who finds his life will lose it, and anyone who loses his life because of me will find it. And it's like today, all today, I wanted what I wanted. And I wanted to hold on to my life. And it comes in so many different ways. But yeah, I'm having to play more of the stay at home with the kids role, and you're playing much more of the
Go to
work role. I also work, but my schedule is just different, so it allows for me to stay at home, and it's a wonderful thing, good thing.
Mm-hmm. Thankful.
But it's a very big challenge for me at times. Yeah. It's literally 9:11. It's 9
We're
p.m.
old.
I'm so old. The littles were just like on me today. They wouldn't stop whining, and Mira is defiant and
Pushing limits.
yep, being disobedient, pushing her limits. She's 3, almost 4, so there's
That's what
that.
kids do.
And then Judah just was
Judah.
bull in a china shop. And so today I did this thing called Go, and I went to Albemarle and shared the love of Jesus with some homeless folks, and I took the littles with me. And the Lord told me to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like not okay.
It wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't easy.
He doesn't
It
always
was
tell you to
good,
do easy
but it wasn't
things.
easy.
Yeah.
And then, so we just got home, tried to lay the littles down for a nap. That wasn't happening.
You had washed their sheets.
Yeah.
And they were not dried and put back on the beds.
Oh, and they let me know.
Yeah.
And then after that, they woke up cranky, and I was cranky, so we went on a walk to try to get rid of some of that. And yeah, it was just, the walk was good, but I got really irritated with Mira today. And I just paused after I did that. I said, God, what's wrong with me? And then he reminded me, I woke you up at 1:40 to pray. You fasted yesterday. You just preached. You're teaching other people how to fast and discipling others. And like,
You went?
I went, yeah,
You did the Go?
to Albemarle, and I did the Go for Jesus. And it's like you have to expect this stuff from the devil.
Yeah.
He hates us.
Mm.
And so I called you whining and complaining.
As best as you could, Judah was still in the background screaming.
Yeah, screaming at me while I'm trying to tell her, hey,
You're
I had
like,
a rough day.
Exhibit A.
Just
Sorry,
just
microphone.
feel for me just for a minute. I just need my wife to feel for me a minute. And Judah wouldn't even let me have that. He's like, blah blah.
In typical Judah fashion.
Man, drive me nuts. I love that boy. But yeah, this is real life. And did you deal with flesh at all today?
Yeah. And I'm just thinking how funny it is that, like, the flesh part of me that I wrestle with is like the very thing that I shared last night. I got to teach last night at Grow, and I was talking about solitude and silence and Sabbath. But I literally used the example of Mary and Martha and how you stop.
You did
Yeah,
use that.
I used the example of Mary and Martha and how, Jesus came to visit, and Martha's all over the house trying to get things perfect, and Mary's just sitting at the feet of Jesus, and Martha's like, why are you not making her get up and help me, Lord? Like, I could get cleaning done so much faster if someone would just help me. And I'm pretty sure I said those exact words tonight.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I wrestle with I do. I go and work, and, I'm at the office 4 days a week and a little bit longer hours now, and then I come home and still have to do the mom things. And by that point, the kids have missed me all day, and so Judah's like refusing to let me move from my spot on the couch. He like
Hyper Velcro.
he's my Velcro baby who pushes me to the couch and then goes and gets our blanket and wants to snuggle as soon as I get home. And I
Which
see
is sweet.
it is very sweet. And I am getting better about being present when they're here and letting the mess go. But by the end of the night and by bedtime, the house is just a mess. And I'm like, great. Now I've got to do all the Martha things.
Yeah.
And so I was just wrestling with my flesh as well.
Yeah, and being one makes that even more difficult, because when I'm feeling something, you're going to be feeling something as well,
Yeah.
more than likely. Which is wild. You probably never think about that in your marriage, but what you allow to cross over into your flesh and let your flesh win in something, your spouse is going to kind of reciprocate that, or at least experience it, to say the least.
Yeah.
And today it was like, it's just trying to crucify the flesh. But honestly, like it says in Romans 12, it says, therefore, brethren, present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. And it talks about that, but a lot of times that is ugly.
Oh, yeah.
And it is nasty coming to the end of yourself, because
Yeah.
you basically have to like drag your own self kicking and screaming up onto the altar so that he can do the living sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. Living sacrifice isn't pretty.
No.
No. In fact, I really do think that a lot of this, what we've dealt with today, has very much to do with fasting
Yeah.
yesterday. Because if you think about it, fasting is literally submitting your body, your flesh, and your will and your emotions and your wants, your desires, even your most like basic primal instincts, you're submitting and surrendering that to God. And it's almost like after fasting, your flesh comes back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you deprive me
Yeah.
for those 24 or 22 in my case.
Yeah. Rebellion.
Yeah. It's like it rears its ugly head even more so. It's like, in those like superhero movies when they think they've killed a monster and then it comes back and it's even bigger and it's even uglier.
Yep.
And it's like that's what your flesh does, I feel like, after fasting.
Mm-hmm. That's really good, actually. I've never thought about that. There's this fleshly response to fasting.
Like, I'll
after
show
you're
you.
done.
Yeah.
You would think it's like, oh, now I can eat again. I'm all
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. It's rainbows and sunshine.
Man, my flesh is like, and it was like that on Tuesday for me. Tuesday was awesome.
Yeah. So maybe sometimes it is.
But today was
Not so much.
not so much.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
It is. I think we're learning in those moments, both of us kind of take this time to like close our eyes and to go back to the Father and be like, God, I just need you. Like, we need you so desperately.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the secrets to getting through it, to like really, to not giving into your flesh, because in those moments it would be easy to just be like, fine, I'm angry, you're angry, we're all irritated, let's just not record, let's go to bed, we'll start over tomorrow. But that's what the enemy wants, right? Is for you to like surrender to it and to give in.
Yeah, he wants the white flag.
Yeah.
What he does not want is the push through.
Yeah.
And like, you talk about going to the Father when you're feeling like this, and like your flesh you're having really hard times surrendering and submitting your flesh to the Lord.
And your mind.
Yeah, and your mind, definitely.
And your
mind.
emotions, your soul.
It's okay to feel all these things. It's okay to even think things. But it has to be yielded to Him. But yielded to Him, you would think that like you pray a prayer, it's like, Father, here's all this stuff, here's my flesh. You would feel like you would instantly be better. It don't work like that.
No.
As a matter of fact, a lot of times it's going to take action
Yeah.
to get you out of that thing, and that's why the podcast.
Yeah. That's why you record anyway.
There has to be this moment of no flesh you don't understand. We will submit to the
Yeah.
Father.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's one thing that I used to think feelings were bad. And so when I would feel angry or when I would feel sad or disappointed, I would just like squash those down because I was like, oh, bad feeling. Good Christians don't feel those feelings. Put that away, put it away. And that really doesn't do anything helpful, right? That's actually something that I'm studying a lot right now because a dear mentor of mine has like reminded me that like, hey, feelings aren't bad or good. They're just feelings. They're just meant to be felt, and then you move on from them.
Yep.
You know what is wrong is when you let your feelings dictate your actions.
Right.
You know,
Dictate your actions.
Yeah.
That's key.
yeah, like
Not your
Scripture
mood,
says.
your actions.
Yeah, Scripture says, "Don't let the sun go down on your anger, or in your anger, don't sin." So it's you can be angry. There's even righteous anger, like moments when it's appropriate for you to be angry. When your child is being like deliberately disobedient and pushing your boundaries and like getting out of bed every night, it's okay to be angry. Like that's righteous. But what do you do with that anger? What are the actions that follow it?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's all soul stuff, right? We talk about our flesh, we talk about our soul. One scripture that sticks out to me is the one in Hebrews. I forget what chapter it's in, but it says that we have this hope as an anchor for our soul. And I think that's what's so important because we really do. If we just let our emotions and our feelings and our flesh run away with us, man, we're just like tossed all over the place.
That's exactly right.
You know, and we live in such a society that is very much so motivated by emotions. And so, like, one moment you feel this, and so you're on Facebook blasting these people, and then the next moment you feel this, and it's like, whoa, getting whiplash from all these emotions. But as believers, we have an anchor.
Yeah. And we're notorious for following our emotions.
Oh, yeah.
Like satisfy what you want to do.
Yeah.
And like
I just don't love that person anymore.
yeah, it's all about me. Just do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. You
That
will
leads
find
to death.
every time.
Yeah.
Because ultimately you're satisfying the God of self, which is in direct defiance to the King of Kings.
Yeah.
And we have to learn to humble ourselves to whatever it is He wants us to do.
Yeah.
And so if you are feeling this, you know exactly what we're talking about. You're like, yes, this is they're talking right down my alley. Then it's okay to feel things, and it's
Yeah.
okay to know that. But just feel them, and then continue to do what Christ has called you to do.
Yeah.
Continue to bear the image of Jesus beyond what you think and feel, because it's not about you. It's not about me, or it's not about Jordan. It's about the King of Kings, and
Yeah.
that's it. It's all about Jesus.
Yeah. And abiding with Him,
Yeah.
you know, just whatever that looks like. There are so many ways to abide in His presence. So whether that's getting quiet with Him, if that's going to Scripture, if that's praying, or whatever that looks like, abiding with Him is where we bear fruit, right? So we talk about the fruit of the Spirit, and those are the good qualities that we want to have, you know, the Spirit qualities over the flesh qualities. So we start to exhibit love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control. All these things are fruit of being with Christ. It's fruit of the Spirit. And He says in John 15 that when we abide in Him, we bear much fruit. But I think it's important, like, to remember that just a few verses down, He says, even the branches that do bear fruit, He prunes.
Yep.
So that they can be more fruitful.
Yep.
And so days like today, when we're like, that sucked. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. On those days, just change your perspective. Be like, okay, maybe this was a pruning day, Lord.
Yeah.
Maybe you're pruning and you're taking things off me that maybe need to be more fruitful or weren't bearing fruit to begin with, and they need to be thrown out. But the important part is abiding in Him.
That's right.
Because He's our source.
Yeah.
And so in these moments, I think, the temptation can be to run to another person. Even Taylor and I, we often like talk with each other and we'll talk through these feelings that we're having, and that's okay. But what Taylor needed today was not me to fix him.
Mm-mm.
And what I needed this evening was not for him to fix me. In fact, he couldn't even if he wanted to. And so I'd be putting unrealistic expectations on somebody because he's not my source and I'm not his. So in that moment, what you need is the Father.
That's right.
What you need is the King.
Yeah.
And so I would just encourage you, if you're in one of those moments where you're like, yeah, this is not fun, feeling the flesh, feeling all the feelings, go back to the Lord and just see what He has to say about it. Well, He'll speak over it.
Yeah. And that's where you'll find life.
Yep.
Is when you come to the end of yourself. And the world should know us by our joy and our peace. And that only comes from the end of us and abiding with Him. Because that's where His life is found in us.
It's true.
So, thanks for joining us tonight for a very
somber,
sucky
late
day kind of
night
podcast.
I know, I say late night. It's not even that late, but
What time is it?
it's 9:27.
Oh my gosh, we got to go to
I know,
bed.
we do. We love you guys. Let us know in the comments if this is something that you wrestle with, how we can be praying for you. We're just thankful that you're here with us.
Yep.
So,
We love y'all.
see you next time.